3 games into the new Premier League season, and this is 5 things we have learned so far. Arne Slot and Liverpool are serious.
Absolutely serious. Listen, I did not think this was going to happen, okay? Because Klopp, absolutely massive, obviously. Yeah. He took Liverpool to the greatest heights of all time. We understandably thought there was going to be a fall off.
Yeah, 100%.
But Arne Slot came through, absolutely 9 points out of 3 games.
3 clean sheets.
Absolutely rock and roll football.
Yeah, I mean, I hear it. Look, and the thing is, like, I kind of like the combination of what he's doing. He's putting his own little taste and style to things, but he's also not kind of trying to rip everything apart and start over.
Yeah.
He's still doing a lot of things that Klopp did and things that the players are familiar with and comfortable with. So that's why I think that he's had this good start to the season, bro. He's using Trent well, still has that freedom. He's creating. Luis Diaz-Sala still dominating the flanks. And the midfield, bro, the midfield is dominant physically and technically, which is a staple of what, Klopp needed throughout his tenure at Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%. And not only that, he's getting the most out of the players that I don't think Klopp got out of. Gravenberch, Andy Robertson towards the end of the season, he's looking better now. McAllister looks like a little bit better. To me personally, Diogo Jota having a revitalized career under Arne.
Nunez right now looking like he's not very happy, so he's making some changes at the same time.
Maybe that's better for him. Maybe he needs that type of motivation to get serious, actually hit the target for once. But Arne Slot, fair play to you.
He's doing this with like absolutely no transfer window business.
Yeah, I mean, it raises questions for Ten Hag. Like, what's going on with Ten Hag, bro?
That's what we're saying, bro. And we can actually move on to another point. Manchester United and Spurs both have the same problems. It's looking like last season all over again for both clubs so far, bro.
New season, same old problems.
We can start with United. I mean, it's just the same thing. We see a team who have 11 players out there all playing very individualistic. There's no style. There's no Ten Hag spark on the team, and that's been the same throughout his entire tenure at United so far. There's been no change in the first 3 games this season, and we saw it at the game at Old Trafford against Liverpool where they got absolutely smacked. Arne Slot was doing post-match interviews about how we, easily dismantled this United midfield, easily pressed them, easily cost the mistakes to score goals. So, it's the same mistakes from United, same form from their stars. Rashford not looking like he's picking up any form.
Not only United though, we also mentioned Spurs, bro.
Yeah.
What is Ange doing, bro?
Ange,
it's a bit mad because, obviously first season, right? We were kind of learning what Ange's system is like. We saw the Chelsea game, the high line. They were fighting. They were living by, the sword, dying by the sword.
Right.
At the end of the day, they're doing the same thing all over again.
Same thing this season.
And at some point, fans are getting a bit frustrated. Why are they playing a high line against Newcastle, getting exposed like that? Joelinton easy through ball into Isak.
Isak transition player. He's going to eat up that high line. So
it looks like Ange is trying to play a man-to-man with Maddison in the midfield. I think Bentancur. It's the type of players that you can't play a man-to-man with.
Yeah.
They're going to get run over by a Joelinton or other physical dominant midfielders. And not only that, they're not even shooting the ball. And I think we saw that last season with the Spurs.
Yeah.
They're just not shooting the ball at all.
It's lots of possession.
They've got the highest possession rating in all of the Premier League, but what are they doing with it?
Nothing.
Obviously, they've won a few matches here and there, but we saw this again last season, bro. It's not like Solanke is going to solve all their problems when he comes in.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, Spurs were crying out for a proper 9 goal scorer, but in this Ange system, Son is best as a 9. I don't see Son as a Ange winger. So if you bring in a 9, you spend big money on your striker, on your bagsman, that hinders Son, in my opinion. You can't play Son in this system unless you're playing him at 9, bro. The fans probably wanted that 9. But at the same time, can you bench your captain? Can you bench Son? Can you bench your club legend? So it's a techie one because you need Ange wants pace. Ange wants pace on the wings, but then again, he has it with Werner, with Brennan Johnson, and these guys can't do anything anywhere in the final third, bro.
Yeah,
they're wasteful players. They're wasteful. They can't score goals. You know what I'm saying? And they're struggling, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it's going to be a depth problem, which we can then move on to our third thing we've learned.
Yeah.
Arsenal's lack of depth, I think, might cost them this year.
100% will cost them.
Listen, past 2 seasons, very good. Revitalized Arsenal's hopes and dreams of finally securing that Premier League title.
Elusive.
Get second place twice in a row.
Yeah.
Seems like Arteta's going to be building on something good. This summer window was absolutely crucial for them to do something.
And it was disappointing.
And yet, what have they got? What have they got? Marino?
They've got Marino. But they lost
Rammers.
They lost Vieira.
They
lost Smith Rowe.
Reece Nelson.
They lost, and then they bring in Raheem Sterling.
Calafiori.
Yeah.
It's just not the quality they want or necessarily need in certain positions that they're filling. Yeah. And we're seeing it. We are absolutely seeing it in these past 3 games.
100%.
It's not like they are absolutely firing on all cylinders right now, and they need new players for them to take them to the next level.
Yeah.
And it's already looking like those players that, the Odegaards, the Sakas, the Martinellis, who used to be phenomenal, they're not firing. They need that other quality, and they just don't have it, bro.
They need that competition, bro. And for me, we both predicted that Arsenal would win the league before the transfer window closed. But looking at the last 2 weeks of the transfer window, that's not happening, bro.
Unconvincing.
That's not happening, bro.
It's unconvincing.
City signed Gundogan. They brought him back. They didn't really have that depth or that insane transfer window that we expect City to have. But this was Arsenal's chance to go ahead and take that extra leap in the transfer market, and also don't thin out the squad. You brought in Calafiori, great signing. You brought in Sterling, who I guess, who knows, maybe he can have a comeback season.
Maybe.
But at the same time, what good is that if you're still getting rid of your squad players who were still had big moments last season or the past seasons where Arsenal have challenged, like Reece Nelson, like Smith Rowe.
It seems like Arsenal got too comfortable. It's like they're almost okay with being second. It's like they didn't want to go to the next step. And it's kind of like an Atletico Madrid situation where like they have the quality to take that next step with a few signings, but they just never do. And I think Arsenal's in that situation.
Yeah.
Now with the new format with Champions League, more games being played that are more important.
Yeah.
They needed quality
and quantity.
So I mean, it's looking grim. As an Arsenal fan, I'm not an Arsenal fan. Putting my mind into an Arsenal fan's perspective, that's a bit scary. I would be worried. Yeah. I would be absolutely worried. Yeah. Speaking of worry, got to talk about the situation down below. Sitting 20th. The fourth thing we've learned about this season is what is going on with Everton.
What is happening, bro? I think Everton have failed Sean Dyche, bro. I think they have failed him. I think that, Sean Dyche is an experienced Premier League manager. He's been in countless relegation battles. He's always scraped through. Last season did an unbelievable job keeping Everton up in the Premier League after a 10-point deduction. And if that 10-point deduction didn't happen, they would have sat comfortable mid-table. And this window, Everton failed him. The board failed him. Whoever's in charge of transfers at Everton failed him. I get it. The FFP situation probably had a big role in that. And, maybe they weren't able to bring in the players they wanted. But at the same time, bro, they still made a couple signings. And they got rid of some key players.
Absolutely.
Key players, bro. And, I think that this transfer window is going to cost Everton. And I think they could very well be going down this season, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Because like you mentioned, Sean Dyche, absolute legend in the Premier League. We saw it at Burnley. We saw glimpses at Everton. We saw it last season. They had a very good end of the season. They kept a bunch of clean sheets going through. That seemed like they had a very blue-collar mentality. The crowd was getting behind them. It seemed like it was inevitable that they're going to stay up despite the 10 points like you mentioned. And then it almost seemed like in the summertime, they were going to get bolstered. Sean Dyche is finally going to have a new perfect 100% season with them. It was going to be something that Everton supporters needed, bro.
Could look forward to.
They could look forward to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm not sure who's in charge at Everton. Scouting has been absolutely terrible. You cannot tell me that Brighton is signing 15-year-olds from countries we don't even know about and being world beaters.
Right.
And Everton can't sign a person on loan from Arsenal or Chelsea to help them out.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. Not only that, they're signing absolute bots, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, they brought in the Onana replacement. I don't even know how to say his name yet. It's that one guy, 42 in the midfield.
Absolute.
Looks shocking so far. He looks shocking. Doesn't look like a player that will keep you out of relegation. He looks like an Idrissa Gueye clone. So you got two Idrissa Gueyes in the midfield. That's terrible.
It's a championships. It's a championship bench.
Championship.
You look
signing.
at their bench.
Yeah.
It's championship.
The bench is horrid. The bench is an eyesore. I mean, obviously, right now they've got Braithwaite injured, who is starter for sure. Starter.
Yeah.
But they still got Seamus Coleman at right back, man. You got Seamus Coleman at right back. You've got Minkaletko, who he's okay at left back. You got fair play. I think in Jai is a good signing.
Yeah.
He looks like a player.
I agree.
Who will be crucial if they even want to have any chance of staying up. Him and McNeil, they're creators. But outside of that front four of DCL, McNeil, Harrison, and Njai, who are they bringing on?
No, it's
who
poor.
are they bringing on?
It's poor.
They've got no options. Doucouré doesn't look like he's part of Sean Dyche's starting 11. It's
poor.
It's poor.
It's so poor. We're obviously talking off the back of Bournemouth completing the biggest remontada since PSG versus Barcelona at this point.
Yeah.
3 goals in the last 8 minutes of the game.
Right.
Sean Dyche comes out and says I don't know what happened. The players just kind of gave up. And that's basically summing it up for me, bro. The players gave up on Sean Dyche. The board is giving up on Sean Dyche. They're just leaving him stranded. Everton fans,
let us know.
Absolutely in disarray.
Let us know what you think. Let us know what the plan is going forward. But we can go into our last thing that we learned, and it is, what is in the water in Brighton, bro? What is in the water?
Those pebble beaches, bro. What do they have over there?
I need to go swimming. I need to have a taste myself because, there's something over there that is causing Brighton to just be a well-oiled machine. Bro.
Literally.
Well-oiled machine from the top to the bottom. These guys just can't have a season off, bro. They look like they're going to have a great season again.
It's crazy because even last season, they did okay.
They did well.
But
they did well with injuries and all the drama. They had lots of drama last season. Trossard went out the window into Arsenal in January.
Yeah, they lost Caicedo. They lost Trossard.
Mad.
They lost pivotal pieces like Everton. But unlike Everton, they were able to bolster them with a lot of, like I mentioned, unknown random players who can seemingly have world-class potential every single season. It's crazy. Not only the players, though. They've got manager rotations. Bro, where's the factory, bro? Where's the manager factory,
They've got a Brighton
bro?
Factory. It is mad. I mean, they went from Potter, who was looking like the new thing in England, and then they replaced him with De Zerbi. Not many people knew De Zerbi.
Literally.
Brought him from the slums of Italy. And he did it.
Italy's crazy.
He did unreal. He did unreal. And now they've replaced him with a guy who's almost
31.
as young as you.
Don't do that. 31-year-old. Absolutely. It is mad because James Milner's on the team. He's starting James Milner, who's older than him, bro.
Yeah.
It's just it's a testament to what this Brighton team is doing in terms of the outside of football and inside of football.
All of it together.
They're a serious team. It's a team that makes sense on the outside when you're a supporter. It's that's how you're supposed to run a football club that isn't as big as the top 6.
Right.
Obviously, they can still compete. It's kind of like shadows of what Leicester had done after they had won the Champions League, or after they had won the Premier League. They had that stint in the Champions League. It seemed like they were competing with the top 6.
Right.
It's looking like, bar injuries, Brighton are a very competitive team.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting, bro.
And it's well-deserved, bro. It's well-deserved. They've had years and years of good recruitment, and it's paid off. They've had massive sales, and it's allowed them to spend $200 million in the window like they did.
Yeah.
They brought in countless players. They brought in Kadioglu, who had one of the best tournaments at the Euros. You got a player like that who's probably wanted by so many top clubs.
João Pedro's having what's looking like a very much breakout season. It's a bit different. People, you can come here and say, oh, yeah, Brighton's been doing this. Not really, because there's a lot of flipovers. There's a lot of turnover in terms of coaching now.
Yeah, a lot of and
we didn't see this. We saw the Potter role and situation. Yeah, they had stability, but as soon as Potter's gone, as soon as De Zerbi's gone, we haven't been seeing this. And it seems like Brighton is able to steady the ship. Fair play to them.
And they're sitting 3-0?
Yeah.
9 points. So
already played Manchester United. Already played other big games.
Yeah, I don't even know. Everton, Everton's not one.
Everton, Spurs, and
no, they are not on 9 points, bro. They tied Arsenal, but they still took off points from Arsenal. So it's good results regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still going to be a promising season for Brighton. those are the 5 things we learned this season. You know what I'm saying? We're ready for the Premier League to get back this next weekend type.
Hopefully.
Hit the like button, get in the comments, and sub up as well. Peace.